How's it going, guys? If you're watching this video, I assume it's because you're considering taking CSE 442. What I'm going to talk about are the things that I learned having almost completed this course myself. So, without further ado, here are 5 tips that I think will help you have a successful journey through this course. The 5 tips being behind me here. So, number 1 up there is to start early. And this applies to literally every aspect of this course. But I'm mainly talking about your project idea. 442 is a lot different than any course you've probably taken at UB in that rather than attending lecture for 3 hours a week, your main focus is developing an idea into a piece of software. And it's for this reason that walking into class on the first day with absolutely no idea as to what you want to develop is a pretty poor plan of attack. Will you fail? No. But I guarantee you'll come up with a way more interesting idea if you actually take the time and think about what you want to do for this course. So brainstorm and research. Jot down ideas you have. Make a list. Start as early as the semester before 442. You can even bring in all of the ideas for side projects that you've been meaning to work on but just haven't had the time to do because all of your other classes have been so demanding. That's the beauty of this course is it actually makes it a requirement. So bring everything you've got to the table and be as ambitious as you can. Don't be afraid because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to make something spectacular. It's to just learn from this process of software engineering. So this brings me to my second piece of advice, which is to pick a project you're interested in. I'm sure you're going to hear this multiple times before you even form your groups, but that just goes to show how important this fact is. If you pick a project that you're not interested in, you're going to have a rough time in this course. Why is that? Well, at the end of the day, you're going to be putting in a lot of time and effort in developing an idea into functional software. And if your interest just isn't there, you're going to find yourself dragging your feet to weekly meetings and fighting an extreme lack of motivation in order to pass this course. So save yourself the heartache, and even if it comes down to choosing between your friends and a group of complete strangers, pick a project that you actually believe in, something that you want to learn more about and that you want to see people use. So on to my third piece of advice back there, use your TAs. They're your guide in this course. Your TA is almost like your project lead, and the fact that they're there to give you advice, tell you what's needed for deadlines, listen to your experiences, and help you develop software. Don't be afraid to tell them exactly what's going on. Your TA is not there to make fun of you for having a rough time. They're there to prevent that. This is going to be a pretty new process for a lot of you, so don't feel the need to get through it without help. Show up to TA meetings prepared to ask questions. Talk about what's going on, what's going poorly, what's going well, and ask them anything and everything that you're curious about. Because even if they can't answer your questions, they probably have the resources to give you the information that you're looking for. So on to my fourth tip to do well in CSE 442. Don't fall behind. The lack of structure in this course, meaning there's really no one forcing you to do work every week, makes it very easy to put off work until right before the deadlines. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't guilty of this myself. So it's a really dangerous thing that there is no real, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, show up, take notes, do this, do that. It's really just you and what you and your group decide. You guys are in charge of your own fate for this course. So you're going to run into bugs and problems that you don't think you will. That's just software engineering. And if you can't figure something out, well, that's what your TA was there for. So when it comes down to it, software that doesn't work. And it's really easy to get an A in this class. Don't make it hard. Don't stress yourself out by procrastinating. You should be putting in as much work in this class as you are in your other higher level courses because you have just as much, if not more, to learn about computer science and software engineering from this course. So this actually leads me to my final tip for you up there, which is, as cliche as it sounds, have fun. This is a pretty exciting and unique class. You get the chance to come out of this class with some pretty cool software, meet some new friends if you give yourself the time to, and you learn from the things that go well, and especially from the things that don't. So try not to take things too seriously. Just enjoy the process of software development. This is a chance to explore new platforms, maybe toy around with some hardware, learn new concepts that you won't get the chance to in your other classes. 442 is it is what you make of it. So if you start out with this ambitious idea to create an AI that's going to program itself by the end of the semester, you'll learn a lot more than if you choose to recycle your Scrabble project from 116. No disrespect to Scrabble or 116. It's just that by the end of the semester, maybe your project won't be exactly what you expected, but it's open-ended. You can do whatever you want. You can continue to develop it or just consider it a lesson learned. So I hope this information was useful, and I hope that you guys get as much out of 442 as I did. So good luck with your semester. Good luck with your project. Dream big and do well.